On England on Ask Mom, and this is a subject you do not want to put on the back burner. Today we are going to be talking about portfolio reviews. I know that a lot of moms are getting ready who are in the homeschool world to do that. I put together two different portfolio reviews. One is actually mine, and one is actually a portfolio review that a mom would put together to review with their actual state or their county school district area. I do not do that. I actually am with an umbrella. An umbrella is like you're with a school, but you're not. It's a school that actually blankets you, and it keeps your records and everything else. So I'm going to show you that a little bit, but first I want to go through the state review because that's actually the people who are looking at a review right now, that's what they're doing. So I put together this little mock review. I put together this sheet. This sheet is very simple. We've got our name of our child. I put this together in a morning. So you've been preparing for this since the beginning of the year. If you are not done and you're frantic, that's why you're not done, because you're frantic. You're afraid to pick up anything, and if you do nothing, then you can't screw it up. But honestly, you've been building this the whole time. I slapped this together in a morning, and it's a fake child. I know you can do this. Just calm down. You're fine. It's not as scary as it sounds. So you've got your child's name. I put Jane Doe. Grade. I put her as a 6th grader. I put her the school year of the 2016-2017 school year. And then the different subjects. Be it math, English, and then the different curriculums. Okay? So we've got ACE English. And then I wanted to put down a list of books that she's done. So I have my Magic Tree House books. All right? So you're going to have all of that. Then you're going to have your different extracurriculars that you'd have to do, like your art, your gym, your health, music, and then a list of your field trips that you might have gone on in this period. This is your first half of the year. This isn't the whole year. This is just the first half of the year. Okay? So while we're looking at that sheet of paper, which you're going to, So while we've got that sheet of paper, we're going to have that. We're going to sit it to the side. That's going to be your top sheet you're going to hand to your reviewer. All right? Then you're going to have to put your stuff together. So I've got folders here. I already pulled them out. Because ACE does it in that color, I just naturally, my mind goes to these colors, except for the English, which is technically supposed to be red, but I didn't have a red one. So we've got math.
One. And that one. And that one, and then you just
I put down teaching textbooks. This is the teaching textbooks grade book. Now this says 7th, or math 7th. I don't have a math 6. I never had one, so just pretend that says 6. Same thing, doesn't look any different. Put her name, her grade, and then I have her grade book. I'm going to stick that right in my folder, okay? Then I just keep doing that. I don't have any PACEs. PACEs are little booklets. Life packs are the same thing. It's 12 booklets. It's a curriculum. Anybody who uses them knows what they are. You would take a PACE or a life pack or whatever you are using that is a booklet. Like we have light units for the girls' environmental agri-science for their class this year. So it's a booklet. You'll take one from the beginning of the school year that she completed, and you would take one from about this time period. All you have to do is take 2 pieces of something to show forward progress. So one from like the beginning and one from somewhere around now. That's all you have to do. That's all they expect of you. You don't have to bring in everything they've done because it's too much stuff for them to look through, and it's just not a good idea. So you would do that with each and every subject, and you would put them together. So each folder would have their subject's information in it. Oh, here we go. This is actually the light unit that my girls are using for their high school class. Now, this is just their test. They have their booklets. So it's the same idea. The PACEs, life packs, they're all the same idea. It's a booklet. And you just do the work throughout. So you would stick like 2 of those in there. Okay, so we got all those. So if we were going to put this together, we would have this right here in the front for one child. You're putting one binder together for one child. If you have more than one child, you need to put together more than one binder. So you've got your binder sheet. So you got your sheet here that you're going to hand them. You've put together all of your folders. You're going to clip them in. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put some pictures together. Okay? So I did this little picture album thing. And you've got your, like I made up a co-op, Bright Minds co-op. And then I dug these pictures off the internet because it's supposed to be a 6th grade child. So we have like the different field trips where she went to the mushroom farm. She went to on a nature walk, which was listed in your review sheet. And then you have where she's at the co-op doing a health class. And then on the other side, you have some of the other things that, I mean, it's very difficult to prove those. So you would have pictures. Like this is her softball that she's been doing. That's what you claimed as gym. This is her doing a music lesson on her piano because piano lessons were her music. So you just have like a little thing to prove that obviously you might want to do more pictures. You might want to have more of these. I just slapped this together. I need to zoom. So, and then you would stick that in there, okay? So then you would put that toward the back, and then all of this is put together. So you've got all of your proof of things, you've got your pictures, you've got your sheet, everything is done, put together. Put your child's name, grade, and all that on the slip right in the front here, and then you would turn this in. Now I'm going to tell you something very important. If you are going to go to this review and you are going to sit there and they are going to give this back, then you may take the originals. If you are going to drop it off, I know a lot of parents, there's drop-off dates where you can just drop it off and be approved. Do not give them the original copies. Do not do it. If it's paces, then take a couple photocopies of that pace and then a couple photocopies of that pace and put them in that folder. Do not give the originals. I'm not saying anything bad about your school district or the people that review you or anything. I'm saying that if something goes wrong and you gave that information to them and somehow it gets lost, or maybe your reviewer isn't the friendliest person in the world, you have nothing to stand on. Because they have your originals. They don't need the originals. They need to have proof of forward progress and that their child is doing academic work. They're doing a structured educational system. That's what they need. They don't need the original copies of anything. So please, 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 please do not give them the originals. So if you're dropping off, copy it. Keep yours, but copy this and give it to them. But if you're going in with yourself and they're going to give this back, then you do so. Now, if you know that your reviewer loves to keep them, and you know, like she might want to put them on file, I don't know why she would have to do that. All she has to mark down is that you're good to go. Or she or he, I'm sorry, I attacked at being a woman because I just assume women are mean. But you would just, you know, if you want to do, but I'm strongly urging copies. Strongly. Because copies can be remade. Originals cannot. So, anyhow. Okay. When you get all that together, you get your binder together. There's one more thing that you're going to have to make sure. And I keep this record now. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. People tell me I keep too many records. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to have too much. And it's easy. It's just slip it in a folder and stuff. But this is the item that I do put together. I buy these every single year. I just bought my new one. I set it on Instagram so you can see it. It's an oldie and a goodie because it works great. There's this big spots right here where you can put everything about that day. I put if they did a paper or they did a test, I put the grade on there. If they have a final, there's a grade on there. If we went on a trip, it was where did we go and how long. Every day of school that they had school. If they didn't have school, why didn't we have school? Here, they did 6 hours of school today. They did 6 hours of school today, but Reagan had a doctor's appointment today. I mean, if you keep records like this and you take this with you, you now have a complete view of your school year, and they will not question you. because they know that you are keeping absolute records and they know exactly what you're doing. That's all. All right, so that is if you were doing a state review. Now, I don't do a state review. My review is at the end of the year. These are the books. You don't have to bring the books in if you're doing a review. And if you're dropping off, you would not leave the books. My kids, we have an umbrella. And when you have an umbrella, they actually give you a form. And this is what it would look like. You would fill all of this out. The reason I kind of stuck with this is because the previous one was for a 6th grader. This is a high school student that would be doing this. So we have a high school student here and a high school student here. As you can see, not all of these are filled out. That's impossible. They have credits. They don't need to do 6,000 arts. So you only have so many electives. All right? But it's the same idea. You're filling out and putting down the information of the classes they've done and where they did them and how they did them. Then I have a file inside my desk. I have 3 slots. And in those 3 slots, I have each child because I have 3 kids. So I have a folder for creative writing. I have a folder for government. I have a notebook just because it was her written math. She worked it out. So that's why I kept it. She, done her to have it. I have one for her finance, environmental science, geometry, and so forth. So we stick all these, and then every time she has something that comes back, no matter what it is, if it's a book, it goes in the file. This book is completely done for this year. So it goes in the file. This is her Bible. That is something that is different with an umbrella versus state. Umbrellas, a lot of them are Christian-based, so they will require you to do a biblical class. They'll either call it Bible studies or and then / Christian services or studies. So, you can do community service, or you can do, but it has to be something on there. And now this is for every grade. I think public school system requires that you do community service. But I've heard back and forth with that. I'm not 100% certain. If you really need to know, I can look it up. I will get you the information. But I knew with an umbrella, most of them are Christian-based and they require it. So community service or a Bible class, but anything that they do, I stick in that file. And then I will put together something similar to this binder at the end of the year. Because I do 1 review a year. But I will put more samples. I will put a sample from the beginning of the year and the middle of the year and the end of the year. I will put chunks. And then I just prove that they have done this class and they have done forward progress and that they have completed what they needed to complete. And then when I'm done and it's all signed off, because you'll see there's these little boxes on mine, and the reviewer will initial each box saying, yes, they saw it, and yes, that actually they did it. And then when I'm done, I sign it, the reviewer signs it, I fold it up, and I mail it to my umbrella. And then I will be good for my school year. And it's the same idea with public school system. But that's the difference between what I do versus what the state does. Now, I will say that the state doesn't keep records, as far as credits or anything. So if you have a high school student and you are not, they are not going to keep records for you. They're not going to keep your credits. They're not going to do your transcripts. They're not going to give you a diploma. You are required and responsible for all of that. With an umbrella, you don't have to do that. On an umbrella, I fill out a credit report. It has to coexist with the portfolio review of that year. If it does not, they will not give you the credit for it. So if you put down bioanatomy and physiology for this year, it better be on that portfolio review also, or it doesn't fly. That you can't put it on there. So you would put your high school credit report together. It should coexist and basically mirror what you have on your portfolio review, except for it's for the high school. You'd write it down in your grade, the year, and all that information. Then you would send it in, and they would add it to your transcripts. And they will issue me a diploma at the end of the year for my children. So that's the differences between the two. But right now, like I said, we're dealing with state reviews from, the schools in your local area, and you're actually doing it with them. It's a very simple concept. It's not hard, but if you have any questions, you just let me know. You can put a comment down below. I'd love to have you follow me. And I would also love to hear your ideas. And if you have anything you want to ask Mom, I'm more than happy to either check it out or hear from you. Okay? Okay, so that's what we've got for today. I've went through your portfolio review, how to put it together, your calendars, your binder. You put this all together like this, you're not going to have to stress. Parents worry too much, they stress too much. If you've got it done and you've done it right, don't stress. You're fine. You lose years of your life doing that. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, or we're gonna do on our show is we're gonna do, because the holidays are coming up, Christmas is coming, so we're gonna do some gluten-free cookies next week. So I'm thinking sugar cookies, maybe some chocolate chip, and I think it's gonna be yummy. So be here next week. Thank you. Bye.